Inappropriate moments in MMA and boxing. For ages, people all around the world have loved combat sports. It all started with martial arts, you see, which first grabbed the attention of people. Then came boxing, capturing hearts. And before you know it, MMA stepped into the spotlight and became a global craze. So, in this video, we've decided to explore some of the inappropriate moments that have happened in both MMA and boxing. These sports may be loved by millions, but they are not without their controversies and scandals. But before that, subscribe to the channel and get started. Number 14. Check out this battle between Khabib and Conor McGregor, two giants of UFC who each stand out in their own unique way. But in this particular match, McGregor's team was saying some not-so-nice things and making fun of Khabib. Khabib won the fight against McGregor fair and square, but the Eagle didn't feel it was enough. So, guess what he did next? Amazingly, he hopped over the really tall cage barrier to confront one of the big mouths from McGregor's team. The whole arena was instantly lit up with thrill as this surprising fight continued. That's when the security had to come and sort out the mess. At that moment, McGregor himself stood up from the floor to figure out the mess. And that's when one of Khabib's pals thought it would be a good idea to take on McGregor. Everyone watching, including the commentators and the audience, was totally shocked by this unexpected twist. One of the commentators said it perfectly, "This is crazy." And he was absolutely right. It was, without a doubt, a crazy twist in UFC history. Number 13. Andre and Jose were in a heated match when Jose committed a big mistake. Specifically, he hit Andre after the bell, which is a serious violation of the rules. This act got him disqualified. But that's not all. Things were about to get even wilder. Andre took a big hit from Jose's late strike, which upset his uncle and coach. The uncle, who used to be a boxer too, was so furious that he gave Jose a hard punch right in his jaw. Despite the chaotic situation, Andre still managed to win by disqualification. However, the angry uncle faced an indefinite suspension by the World Boxing Council for his actions. Number 12. In UFC 8, there was a notorious face-off between Gary Goodridge and Paul Herrera. Here, you'll see Goodridge getting Herrera in a lock and then completely overpowering him. Count them. Not one, not two, but 50 blows to the head using his elbow. You might think, hey, this has to be fake or some sort of veiled repetition. But nope, every impact was real. It's as if Goodridge had some kind of personal vendetta against Herrera. So, what sparked this fury in Goodridge? As per his later confessions, his buddies had tricked him into believing that Herrera was a racist. This fake backstory was meant to motivate Goodridge into rigorous training. Goodridge had no idea about the lie until much later. Number 11. In a moment of joy, he chooses to express himself by performing a backflip off the cage. Unfortunately, the celebration doesn't go as planned, and he lands on his back instead. Clearly, that was a blunder, and his facial expression says it all. You should see the way his face reacts. Number 10. A coach from Mongolia completely loses it. He's totally unhappy with how the match turned out. Just wait until you watch what he does in this video. It's really surprising. In a world where sportspersons hold their sports in high regard, such actions are totally not okay and regrettable. It's not even about what's right or wrong. It's obviously wrong. No two ways to think about it. Now, I have to go and face these guys on the wrestling mat. But here's the twist. We're not gonna see them in international wrestling anymore. Yeah, you heard me. There's no question about it. We won't be seeing this feared pair on the international wrestling scene again. Number 9. Arian Celeste was so thrilled that she could hardly keep it inside. When she saw Alistair at his weighing area, her heart skipped a beat. He stood tall and strong like a giant, making everyone else in the room seem tiny. His big body was so heavy that it appeared as if the scale was struggling to take his weight. It was obvious to anyone that she had a huge crush on him. She was clearly head over heels for this towering man. As soon as his weight was announced, she clapped and cheered loudly. Alistair then showed off by flexing his muscles, filled with pride, and watching him, her joy and thrill just overflowed. Number 8. A girl who used to be a boxer transformed into a real-life superheroine. Even though she was being punched again and again in her face, guess what? It didn't even bother her a bit. She stood strong like a rock, and it absolutely didn't faze her at all. What's more shocking is that the referee didn't step in to stop this match, considering it was clearly one-sided and she wasn't even trying to fight back. Number 7. Imagine you're in a situation where you've lost a match. Feels terrible, right? That's exactly what happened to him. It was like a catastrophe waiting to happen. In an oh dear moment, he did something really brave, something out of the box. He boldly announced that he didn't lose the match, despite what the scorecard was pointing out. Just when you were thinking, oh, how's that? The story took a surprising twist. He got really, really upset. It's like his emotions jumped into a pot of boiling hot water. And then, imagine this, he accidentally hit the ring girl with a punch. Unfortunately, it landed right on her lower jaw. Number 6. Every time Deontay Wilder shows up for the weigh-in before a boxing match, you're always kept guessing about his next move. This time, he was getting ready to face Luis Ortiz in the boxing ring. When he got on the weighing scale, he unleashed a scream so loud and chilling that it made the ring girl standing next to him shiver in fear. Even some people in the crowd couldn't help but jump in surprise at his sudden outburst. But just when you started thinking that he might be acting a bit too extreme, he surprised everyone again. He flashed a cheeky smile and gave a wink to some unknown fans in the crowd. Whether you're a fan of Deontay Wilder or not, you have to admit things are never boring when he is around. Number 5. Let's talk about a crazy thing that happened back at the Glory 42 show in 2017. There was a big fight between Marthal Groenhart and Harut Grigorian in Paris. Guess what? Groenhart scored a winning knockout smackdown. What's interesting is that, for some reason, Grigorian just turned his back on Groenhart in the middle of the round, something that was super strange to see. Some fans who weren't happy about the surprise ending decided to do something about it themselves. They ran into the ring and started to attack Groenhart. We can all agree that this is not cool. Number 4. During a checkup to see how much they weigh, one of the guys who fights in MMA was super serious. He gave off vibes that he just didn't have any time to mess about. But his opponent? Well, it was a totally different scene with him. He was in a happy, upbeat mood, moving and shaking his body like he was at a dance party. This particular fighter decided to have a bit of fun with his super serious opponent by doing a little dance that most of us would recognize, the well-known loser dance. Number 3. A fighter mistakenly believed the referee to be his adversary. Picture a taekwondo instructor and his student playfully pushing each other, and then it starts getting a bit serious, and they end up in a minor scuffle. It's almost like a small, friendly fight broke out between them. Authorities came to break it up, and the instructor was in a fighting stance with one of them. It wasn't long since he realized what was happening. Number 2. In Russia, during a hardcore fighting championship event, a Russian fighter finds himself sharing a sofa with his future opponent during an interview segment. Without any warning, he suddenly puts his fellow fighter in a chokehold and refuses to let go. Initially, one might brush it off as a simple prank, but as the situation unfolds, it becomes evident that this is no laughing matter. The man in the chokehold is forcefully put to sleep, and the security guards are unable to intervene in time. Interestingly, the irony of this episode is quite thick. Reportedly, the aggressive fighter had previously been expelled from the league for a similar act of misconduct. Number 1. Marshall Shermer's recent victory in the boxing ring was an absolute clear knockout. He defeated his rival without breaking a sweat and walked out of the ring, looking like the true winner he was. Yet what happened after the match really caught everyone's attention. With the camera recording non-stop, Marshall saw a chance too good to miss. He quickly and secretly looked around to make sure no one had any idea of what he was about to do. Then, in a bold and unexpected move, he leaned over and kissed one of the shocked ring girls. So that's a wrap for the most shocking, inappropriate moments videos in the world of sports. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content.